Your first
Oh my
DJing
god.
gig.
Oh shit. It was bad. Obviously, just like everyone else that started. Like here's the thing that I learned. All right, so I have been doing this for. Next year is going to be my 15th year, and as much as publicly I will tell people that, I have already left the industry altogether, but I left it in a sense where I have moved on to different parts of the industry as a consultant, as a different, like, so in some sense, in a way, occasionally I'll still go back to actually provide my services to clients, clubs, festivals, raves, whatnot. So in that, and of all the things I'm mentioning right now, started from this one gig that I was playing to two people in a bar that probably had like 4 tables, and I bombed it. It was bad. Like, it was really, really crap kind of thing. Like, because I didn't know anything. And if there's one thing I learned from that is, by the way, I'll just put it out there. You're supposed to start off like crap, and that's absolutely fine. Because if you start off great, you're in deep shit. That means you're not learning much, or you have already done a lot of homework. So that, a question of perspective. Because everyone's gonna screw up. Like I too, even in live performances, I screw up. You embrace it. It's part and parcel of live DJing. There's no perfect set. Like, I'll be very honest on this one, on the whole bar thing. So that was the first time I ever had an opportunity to play, and I wanted to be a DJ, but I had no one teaching me at all. And that was the first lesson I got from the industry, that no one will stick their necks out for you. And if they do, you are a very lucky person, because I assure you this is the case where people will be like a lot less willing to help because of their fear of facing competition in that sense. At least for where I come from, at least it's a heavily competitive industry. So at that bar gig, I was already feeling it from other people that were actively just trying to throw you under the bus, and they pretend to be your friend and everything. But I was new to the whole thing. I had no one to turn to. I had no one to tell me what you should or should not do. Everything I was learning it from watching other people's incidents, and by the time I took action on it, like, okay, now I want to do it for myself, it's a little bit too late. So coming back to the whole first gig, it was bad. Like, I remember I was trying to play, what was it? Okay, that was the period where Vice Tone was starting to do their promotion for their tracks that they were, yeah, so I knew Vice Tone's presence before they actually shot for the stars. And I remember that evening was so bad to the point that, let's see, that 2 people were sitting on my right. I was using this crap-ass old plastic shell MacBook, that one that they told me, oh, you need to get that in order to actually DJ, anything like that. And I thought to myself, oh, okay. And not only the set did not work very well, I was sitting there just lost, I was told that, why not you just do something. I was told by the boss, I remember this always, that maybe you should be doing something else instead, and I just sat there dumbfounded. It was bad, and I knew I was bad, but not only they were not encouraging, it was actually the first lesson that I got, as harsh as it was, that you don't go into a place, a professional spot, to actually learn. You learn elsewhere, and then you go up to the stages. And the ironic thing about this is that there are hardly any places for you to start off in the first place. So it's a very weird irony. It's like, how to not be depressed. Step 1, don't be sad. The kind of thing. Like, how do I not be sad? Like, what the hell are you talking about? The kind of thing. And that was the kind of reality that I had to deal with for all the years. And that's kind of like the reason why I was so pissed off. I decided to actually just create a syllabus on a pay what you want basis. So I teach people either for free if they can't afford it, or if they can't afford it, you pay whatever amount you think is fine. But these are industry grade knowledge that I distilled from all the years, and I'm just going to give it away. And I did. That's why I worked with Reality in 2022 to actually give away this 47-minute lecture that's by right a 7-day workshop squeezed into 47 minutes because of that whole bar gig incident. And that those 2 people did not, well, I'll just say for the most part, they didn't show up anymore at the bar after that, curious enough. But it did make me think a lot about how difficult it was, and I actually wanted to give up. Even on that first year, I actually by right should have given up not playing at all. That was how bad it was, because I not only had no one to step up for me, even though there was this person, I would say, that we are no longer in touch with. He, interestingly enough, showed up with his, I remember it was a CDJ 400s, if I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly. It was that, 350s. Yeah, CDJ 350s, the basic 350 setup. And he told me that, dude, I'm just going to bring it down for you here and there. I don't know the guy, and I thought that guy was a great person, and I didn't know anyone back then. So after which, the only sad thing about it was that you realize that some of these people, they're You're not. I mean, you're not lagging, by the way. No, I'm just trying to find the right words to describe this without being too disrespectful, because we were great friends once upon a time. Is that you realize that they're only doing this for their own agendas at the very end, which is weird, and you find that out through the greatest irony of other people that this person had problems with, and so that's where I started learning about the interpersonal problems that this circle has with that circle, with this person and that person and this and that, and it became this very I had anxiety, so I had severe anxiety on top of all the years of struggle ever since then. So my first gig not only did not go very well, it could have actually ended everything at that same year. And had I not been thick-skinned enough to say, I want to keep trying, even if hundreds of people are going to tell me, no, you're not going to make it, no, you sound weird, you have too many genres, you know, all kinds of bad shit that they would tell you just so they would have one less competitor down the road. So I suppose that was basically how it went.
Honestly, sound like you're what we call a fair weather friend.
I suppose, but we're no longer in touch during COVID, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
So, what got you into VRChat is the next question.
Oh my god, no. Okay, so about this. Now, that person that brought me into VR is currently busy with other projects off VR. So I would say Ray. Ray is the person that actually lent me his CD1. I remember that I was sitting in my house for over a year because I didn't know how to set it up, and I was like a lost child. I was like, okay, I don't know any of this thing. And at that point, it was right before COVID that happened. And here's the crazy part. Okay, I knew him from the club scene. All right, this guy. So this is how it really happened. I always tell the story to friends that are like scratching their heads over like, oh, you two such great friends. I'm like, a good half of our time is spent elsewhere, if you know. And some people thought I was gay because of that. I was just sitting down and like, hey, you say what you want, man. I'm not gonna confirm or deny that one. So, Ray was actually someone else's. Okay, so basically another name. I knew him by another name, and I was like, hey, man, he said, what's up? So we were catching up, you know, having a few beers at the club that I used to run and manage. And he's like, oh, cool. And then after that, he told me, oh, you know anything about VR, you know, and stuff like that. Oh, you look a tech person. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we just caught up, and I was so into it because I saw like the future of VR technologies. It was really cool, but I didn't know how to get into it. So Ray was like, oh, hey, you know what? I do happen to have like this headset that you could try it out. I was like, oh shit, really cool. So I was like, okay. So he lent it to me, and this is what exactly happened. I do have to apologize to Ray. I left it in my house in the corner for over a year, and I did not use it at all because I did not know how to set it up. And at the same time, I also found out that there were like specific requirements, like the GPUs and everything. So getting into VR, let alone VRChat, it started from there. And that was about probably in 2019, actually, when I started getting into it. And I remember I had an avatar of a Shiba. I was like, oh, this is so cool, you know? Oh my god, that was like first ever. I think I have a snippet recording of that. It was just me trying to figure, oh my god, this feels so cool, you know, kind of thing. And after that, Ray started bringing me around into VRChat, and he was like, oh, this is a club scene, you know, all this stuff. I think you're gonna do great here. So that was like the first exposure. That was like the first exposure to how VRChat had this entire VR DJing thing going on. And then after that, there were other people that showed me around, and soon enough it just came to the question, and that was where Kazuki was the one that actually shoved me into this whole thing and said, just go and apply the damn thing, you'll be fine. And this was, mind you, in 2020, the height of COVID pandemic. Okay, the pandemic that basically became a very defining moment for a lot of people's lives. And for me, I was having severe alcohol abuse problems, right? So I mean, working in the club scene for all the years, all you do is drink, and that's it, you know. And it's sad. So for me, I was trying to get off alcohol, and I couldn't. It's hard for me to stay sober, because imagine in COVID, your first ever tour, regional tour, that you worked so hard for to make it happen, just got wiped off because of a lockdown, and that's never coming back again. There's no second chances, there's no redos, no rearrangements, nothing. So of course I was sad. So I was so drunk, I went to purchase the Quest 2 for the first time, because I was talking to Kazuki, and I thought, you know, it doesn't hurt, you know, I could probably afford a headset for starters, and it's not like I actually needed like full body back then and whatnot. So there's that happened. And after that, what happened was VR DJing, I went in there again to one of the club nights. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was like a completely different social dynamics that's happening. It's very chill. And I was told to apply to a couple of places. So that also led me into the whole idea of playing at Virality. Because how do I put this? I knew no one, and I'll explain that down the road if the question comes up. So it was basically stumbling into places blacked out drunk, and it was because just do it. What's the worst that can happen? It's like, okay, fine, I'll just go apply it. So I took the same demo. This is something I haven't told this publicly before. That I took the demo that I sent to club promoters, to club agents, and stuff like that, and they rejected it on the basis that, oh yeah, whatever weird reasons, and they are not even just. And it just turns out that you find out much later on that demo was only rejected because they don't know you, not because your music is not good. Or I'm not saying that, I'm bad at what I do. It's more like a question of, okay, so they just actually don't have that social relationship with you. Then I took the same demo. I took this exact same demo. I remember it was demo number 3, and I sent it over to places, and that was how I got into Ferrari. That was how I got into other places. I was just sitting down there and I was like, hang on a second, this doesn't make sense, So I suppose throughout the journey of getting into VRChat, specifically, it is mostly thanks to these two people, Ray and Kazuki, who actually helped me understand that, the world is really big. The world is so big out there.
One of my
Why
best
not let's
friends
find
too.
different ways?
Kazuki is I hit a button.
Thing and just disappear.
Yeah, pretty much. I went to go
Hello,
do
back.
this, and apparently it's behind me and above me, and I grabbed it somehow from down here. But Kazuki is an amazing person. Like, he's one of my best friends. I'm actually the person that gave him the title of the trickster, because that's the kind of personality he gave me when I first saw him.
Yeah, so now the thing is, at the very end of it, with everything that's been said and done, I realized that Kazuki and Ray were really the reasons why I was here in the first place. Because without them, I actually honestly wouldn't even be here. I actually don't even know what I'll be doing. It's the same thing I tell people, that if Kazuki didn't come into my life in the way that he did back then I'm pretty sure I'm not going to live past a couple years ago. I actually had liver failure at that point, and it was the roughest period of my life until he showed up. And then next thing you know, I not only get to do what I want to, and I was able to share this experience with so many people out there, with the blessings of so many people that supported my journey so far. And I realized that I was able to actually do something I love, and for people that care, and also stay away from alcohol. And I was able to redeem myself for whatever that's left of my life, because I have a scar on my lip right now. So, my dad's please excuse the background noise. My dad's actually trying with the whole karaoke nonsense again. So, just one second. I am so sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so remote interviews. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh God. Okay, never mind. Look, you know what? I'm just gonna let it run in the background. It's okay. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, no, that's freaking loud. Holy shit. Okay, okay, you can have a chat with the chat. I will be right back.
This is basically the Loprov that I know. Always hang out with. So he's like, 1 second. And something else is breaking in his house somewhere.
I am back. I have to apologize for that. That was a very unintended disturbance. I thought that was an earthquake in my house, but yeah, apparently it's not, thankfully. Okay, so anyway, come back into the view. Yeah, so hello, I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, yes.
So is this a happenstance encounter that got you into VRChat? And because Ray had even broached the idea with you, you could say that Ray ended up saving your life, because he got you out of the. If you had just kept doing clubs in real life, you probably would have kept drinking, and you probably would have just had complete liver failure, and you would have been been dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's an incredible journey, and I got to even meet so many more of you out there, like thousands of friends out there that I probably hoped. Well, I mean, I probably would never get to see in real life, but I hope to see as many of you as I can.
Yeah, there are a lot of people I know of who, whenever Friday comes around, they're like, all their focus is on the Loprov set. And I know we're not going to have a Loprov set this year, just because he's going to be too busy, unfortunately. So there'll be no Loprov this year for alas.
I mean, maybe for clarification on that is specifically, I would say I don't mind doing one more time if people would want to see that. But I also understand that the DJ team had to make a difficult decision at that point on behalf of Virality that, okay, we want to actually make way for new talents as well. And I'm all in for that. I support that ideal as well. So it's more like